All right. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. We are getting lit. Well, getting lit tonight. Went for a little bit more dramatic of a lighting setup this evening. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. And all right, let's get started here. Boom. Got a camera over there behind me showing you the live stream setup. And we've got a reliable whiskey cam today. I've got it sitting on the Aperture MC. And we're still drinking the bourbon because we haven't finished through that one tonight. All right. So while you guys pour your drinks, if you have them, water is fine too. You don't need to drink to hang out with me tonight. Let me know how the audio sounds. I went with a little bit different, less complicated setup today. What's up, Skeeter? Thanks for showing up. We got Kyun Young Photography. You were first. What's up, man? Thank you for showing up. And we got Brian. Cool. All right. And I got my little headphones here to monitor what's happening. I don't think I need those the whole time, though. Those are I just dropped them anyways. Doesn't matter. Cool. So here we are. This is the live stream setup for tonight. Gonna wait for a couple more people to show up. And then we'll start talking about some lights and some things that I changed for this particular stream as far as how I am producing it. And I found a solution for the XT3 that was dying last time. I figured out a way to power it over USB-C with a VMAT battery. A little bit of audio lag. That's no good. Maybe I can adjust that. Let's see. Delay. Oh, here we go. That. How's that? I had to reset the Atem Mini Pro, and so I think that it didn't save my audio delay settings. Perfect now? I think that's probably much, much better. Let's go. I guess I'll let you guys can let me know when you see it, because you know this whole 30 seconds behind thing. Cool. All right. Well, back to the whiskey cam. We are sitting on the Aperture MC here. It's such a handy little light. And the, of course, the Rhino Arc 2 back there. All right, we've got 6 people right now. I guess that's enough to start talking about some lights. If anyone else wants to listen to us talking about some lights, they can show up earlier next time. And maybe I should learn how to schedule these darn streams. But that's something that we're going to talk about in a minute here. So for tonight's lighting setup, we went with a purple and teal kind of setup with a single orange accent. Purple and teal, or pink and teal, is kind of like getting really popular as far as the synth wave style of lighting that you start seeing in some of these videos and these neon Tron style settings. I really like it. I think it's super cool. As long as you are going for that kind of artistic theme, I think it's awesome. So that's what I went with tonight. I am using the Lupo Super Panel full color 60 with a grid still. Excuse me, sorry. I really like that light because I have it on wheels, and I have it attached to a giant battery. Really, any one of my full color lights would have worked just fine for this, as long as it had some type of control, like a softbox with a grid. This one just is super convenient because I have it in the studio. I can turn it on. It's just right there. I just roll it into place. It's already set up. You know, that's the whole purpose of having a place to produce YouTube videos in your house, is everything is just already set up, and it makes it easy. So that's why I'm using that one again. Next week I think we'll probably switch it up. And then over here I got the Aperture Nova again, because it's just such a cool light. It's like the Lupo. It's just, I still have it set up. It's convenient. It's got a grid on it. It's not going to spill light everywhere. So I've got grids on both those lights. And then you might see, let's see if I can point it out, one more light over here. We'll talk about that one soon. I imagine anyone that is following lighting and is watching, my posts on social knows what the light is, but I can't talk about it yet. It is a super secret tool. So we've got one light over there, and it is plugged into a lamp, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. Yeah, I keep coughing. I don't know why. All right, so anyways, and then of course we've got the Aperture MC to give that beautiful little orange accent on the whiskey. Now, I really like that. I think that's so handy because whiskey is brown, right? And then the whiskey bottle is like brown, and then the light's casting a nice brown orange, and it really kind of sets everything up. And then back here, when you can see all the teal and the purple. We've just got this beautiful little glow coming over here. So fun little setup for tonight. Let's see. Can you talk about your second angle on the boom slider? Yeah. And good evening, Nils. Thanks for showing up. And we got Ninja Please. Yeah. COVID cough confirmed. Authorities have been notified. Thanks, buddy. New slider angle. So all I did for the new slider angle was I just moved it over. I'll talk about that for a second. So this angle is really, I love it. So we've got, I'm going to go to my other camera that I've got set up right here. Oh no, I can't, because it's attached to a thing. That's fine. Here, I can just move it around. So I'm going to move the whiskey cam, and it's all dark over there. I can't really see it. Let's see if I bump the ISO way, 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 way up. I think I used the wrong dial. Whoops. Here we go. Perfect. All right, so you guys can see what's going on over here. Level. And we'll zoom out. And of course back in. All right, here's the second angle that I've got on the slider. For anyone that just showed up, this angle that we've got going on right here. We are currently, look at that, we've got the whiskey in there and everything. So all we've got is another one of these impact rolling stands, which I freaking love. These things are so convenient, and I have a sandbag beneath it. I don't know if I'll be able to get that in this frame here. Let's roll it back. Yeah, so we've got the yellow impact saddlebag on there. Sandbags are super important because, when you have uneven loads on these stands, any amount of weight is going to help kind of keep it all attached and not bending and flipping around and stuff. So it's the Rhino Arc 2 on the impact stand with the sandbag. And then it's just the Nikon Z6 with a Mars 300 first version transmitter. And that's being powered with an NPF battery. And the Nikon Z6, I have it just set up being powered by its own internal battery. It's a really simple angle, but the Arc 2, it's just something that I recently got. I actually got it used for $1,900 total after shipping, and it came with the focus module through Gear Focus, which is a website where you buy and sell used gear. This one was actually belonged to Sydney Dong. I can't pronounce that guy's last name, but you know what? He's the most positive person in the whole world. great YouTuber, great person. Anyways, I bought this one and it was his. Showed up in 5 days, so saved a grand on that whole package. So that's my kind of B cam angle, and I really like it. I've been trying to use it in these live streams because I don't see anyone else use them in live streams. Super cool. The setup here, is it automated or cameraman? Yeah, it's all automated. So you can set keyframes. You just basically move it into place, and then you click set keyframe, and then you move it into your next place, and then you click set keyframe again. Then you have 2 keyframes, so you can make it go, between 7 seconds and like a minute, and then you can have it loop. And so that's what I've been doing for these streams. And then over here, A angle, that's just the GH5, Sigma 18-35, simple setup. And then over here, this angle right here that you were looking into, this is the Fuji X-T3. And I'm going to put it back onto the whiskey can there. Let's get that in focus. And boom. Maybe like that. And I got to move the ISO way back down. It's not fun. That's what we're going for. So this is I controlled all the lighting kind of for this setup. I just wanted the whiskey in that camera to be kind of highlighted. Something I don't like about this second shot though is the first version of the Mars 300. It keeps on dropping frames. It's I haven't updated the firmware ever, so maybe the firmware will fix it. I don't know. I've been considering just hardwiring it in or getting a more recent, one of the Cosmo devices that has 0 delay. Because when I have the delay from the Mars 300 into this thing, and then for my Atem Mini Pro out from I have the multi-view out going into this other setup here, which is this thing right here. This is my monitor. That whole setup is completely wireless. And here, I can actually show you. So this whole thing is just completely wireless. And I have, if you've been watching any of my other streams, you know this already, but I've got the Mars 300 Pro plugged into the back of it. And so this whole system can just kind of, boom, sit on my desk if I need to, like right there. But I've been putting it also on one of these rolling stands. Put that back. There we go. Well, that's probably good enough. Oh, sorry guys. Burned your ears out. Cool. So there's a nice fun 10 seconds of looking at my back. How many of you still got? 10 people. All right. Next up, let's have a cheers if anyone's pouring a drink here. Or if you're drinking water, that's fine too. Nils, something I don't see people using on the streams was the Rhino Arc 2. I don't see people using sliders wirelessly on any of their streams. It's always just this, like a webcam or like one angle. I think that live streams, they're easy content because, it only takes, the time that the stream was produced plus the little time that it took to set up. But you should put the effort in, streams, if you want your viewers to watch them for a long period of time, you want them to be visually pleasing. So that's my perspective anyways. Hey Tommy, quick question about Lumix cameras. Which autofocus mode works best and which one do you use? The best autofocus mode for your Lumix cameras is going to be the manual autofocus mode. That's what I've always used on my GH5 after I figured out how terrible their autofocus was. If you're using a native lens, it's slightly better, but I've still never had a really successful video taken with autofocus on the GH5. So just you gotta learn how to manually focus, get a good monitor with good peaking. I recommend a large monitor, kind of like the one I'm using over here. It's got peaking built into it, which is awesome. That's it. Manual focus for Lumix cameras. Let's see. Stream Deck. Oh, here we go. Sweet. Focus on the Gibbs Marangoni effect. You know what? I feel uninformed here. The Gibbs Marangoni effect. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna have to look that one up. if anyone can fill me in there, that'd be very helpful. See, what are you streaming with? What software feeds into your YouTube stream? I'm using the Atem Mini Pro, and you can actually see it right here. So I've got the Atem Mini Pro. I just use the Ethernet port into my router, and that feeds directly to YouTube. So that's it. I just very simple integration. Put in my stream key, hit go live, and then my stream pops up online. Works great. Plus, I have a gigabit internet connection, so I'm not worried about any frame drops or anything. That's one of the reasons I went with the Atem Mini Pro and not the regular Atem Mini and OBS, because I didn't want my computer to be a bottleneck at any point. If I had a lot of stuff running or if I was trying to render a video or something, I just wanted the hardware itself to be completely self-contained. So Atem Mini Pro works great. I actually bought Photo Joseph's. He sold me his because my Atem Mini Pro was on back order for over a month. I guess they're in stock now, but when I bought it, it wasn't. So let's take a quick drinky here. Whiskey. Okay. Next up, Kilo Sierra Alpha. Hey Tommy, quick question about Lumix. Oh shoot, I already read that one. Let's see, Sweet Focus. Stream Deck. I'm trying to catch up on these comments. I'm trying to highlight the ones that I'm reading this time so I don't get like totally lost. Atem Mini Pro. Anyone else keep freezing? Well, I guess someone was freezing. That's too bad. What's good? I'm about to go to bed though. Matt G. Thanks, man. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate you. Streamers don't have that kind of money. I don't have that kind of money. I mean, I'm a streamer now, right? You know, I guess. Let's see, Nils. I love boosting production quality on streams. Yes, that's 100%. Always got to have all the angles, slider. You know what? Yeah, this is an expensive setup. I totally agree with whoever said that. That's why you need to distinguish yourself. That's what you need to distinguish yourself these days in addition to content. Agreed. Or revolve your content around high production quality. Yeah, that's kind of where I've kind of turned is, you know, my content has become kind of I want every piece of content to be better produced than the next one. I want it to look super good. I want it to sound amazing. I want your ears to tickle, you know, when you listen to it with the music choices and get goosebumps off of awesome stuff that you've seen. I guess the thing that drives my future videos is I want to inspire people. And what's inspiring about a live stream? For the most part, not much. For live streams, it's just some dude talking to his audience, you know, possibly reading some comments like I've been doing. So the thing that I'm doing to differentiate my personal live streams is, like anyone that shows up early, we go over this lighting setup in pretty good detail about what lights were used, why I'm using it, what's different than the last time. Hopefully you learned something about it. About the way it was lit, what lights were used, and then we talk about something interesting while trying to keep the production quality decently high. Kilo Sierra Alpha, thanks Tommy, you got it. Raul Espinoza, live streams are hard, especially running it solo, dude. Agreed. Raul Espinoza, that's a cool dude. We used to work together. He's a fun guy. We went on a little photo adventure together, and I'm still on the whiskey camera. That means I got to take a drink. Raul, thanks for showing up, man. I really appreciate you. Nils, so the Atem software I see. Yeah, I mean, the Atem software you use to set it up, but you can actually close all the software and just stream directly from the device after you've added your stills and you've set up your stream key and everything. You can just unplug it from your computer and use that completely without the software. It doesn't have to be attached to a computer after that. Let's see. Nils Rel says they are like anything we're doing, and then you get better at it. Yeah, I mean, I think this one is significantly better than my first stream, which was a test stream, and I deleted off the channel because it was terrible and it had horrible audio, and I called it the test stream. So I'm not going to delete any more live streams, so you guys can kind of come on this journey with me if you want. Ninja, please. Here we go. The Gibbs Marangoni effect is tears or legs you see in the whiskey, essentially ethanol evaporating in an interesting way. That's really interesting. Thank you for sharing that. I personally really like science. Let's get some of those. Boom. Look at that. See, you would never have that information in a live stream if there wasn't a whiskey cam. You've always got to have a nice whiskey cam if you're drinking whiskey on a live stream. Cheers to this camera. Nils says, by the way, streaming with multiple angles will make your stream management harder multiplied by your angle count. You know what? That's extremely true. And I found this out last week. And we're going to start getting into the depths of the content meat tonight, which is live streaming is hard. There's a few areas we're going to cover now. One is I tried to set this up with multiple angles and I didn't have the power management kind of figured out because if you've watched my videos, all the videos that I've produced on my channel up until I started the streaming was, videos that I filmed myself. If a battery died, I'd switch the battery out. I wouldn't recharge the batteries before I started shooting. I would just, if a battery gets low, turn the camera off, replace it, turn it back on, start going. Live streams are different. The first piece is power management. And I figured out a solution for my X-T3. The GH5 has excellent battery life. The Z6, I guess we're just going to have to see how long this thing goes for. But for power management, number one, this setup that I've got on the X-T3 is pretty cool. I'm going to turn this light on for just a second so you can kind of see what I've got going over here. See, I've got my overhead lighting there set up on a light switch. Which is super useful. So for this one, I have a Bebob V-mount micro battery into a Bebob V-mount plate. Now if I take this thing off, oh shoot, here we go. Take that off, the camera is not going to die, right? Because we've got a D-tap power coming out of it, and then that goes into this thing, which I got from the UK. B&H also sells it. I'll put a link in the description of this stream after the fact. But it goes from D-tap to USB-C and USB 3.0, and it puts out 60 watts of USB-C power. And because the Fujifilm X-T3 requires a little bit more power than most USB-C things through power delivery, it takes like 12 watts or whatever. Most USB-C power delivery items don't manage it. But this does. So now I just plug the V-mount battery in, and now the Fuji X-T3 is charging and recording and doing all the things that it needs to do with power. But also, I can just disconnect it. I just disconnected the freaking HDMI port. That was a really bad demo. 1 second. So I can just... like I was saying, I can just disconnect it from the power and then take it up and take it with me. So if I was using a wireless transmitter with this thing, then it'd be a lot easier to use it that way. So I don't need to worry about power. Or if I wanted to take it off of this slider setup I have or a different tripod or something, or if I just wanted to have a long-term power solution and swap out V-mount batteries as they die, I can do that now. And my biggest key component there was the D-tap to USB-C because I didn't want to use a dummy battery. I wanted to be able to unplug everything and then just take the camera and go and have it remain fully charged. And so that's the power solution that I've got set up over here for the X-T3 now, aka semi-permanent whiskey camera. Let's fix that focus a little bit. Let's move that back down. There, maybe move it back a little bit and zoom in, get that beautiful whiskey feel. There we go. I messed up all my framing. Looks much better now. All right, GDR Riley got another one. Got another one what? I think I got lost. Whiskey cam plus knowledgeable viewers. Yeah, dude, you guys are some of the smartest people. Let's go back to the original lighting setup. You guys are super smart. You guys are giving me ridiculous questions. I'm learning about the evaporation of whiskey and what the effect is called. You guys are smart. Whiskey, let's see, Nils. My streams go 3+ hours, so I can't afford to do anything but wired. Yeah, wired is super important, unless you have VMAT batteries now, because that's what I'm doing. I could think about adding some QI charger mounts and sticking them to a wall that is metal. You know what I think they should do? I think they should make like magnetic camera chargers, so you can just stick your camera onto the magnet to charge it if you don't want to replace the battery, or like a VMAT battery that has, you know, magnets attached to it, so you can just stick it on the walls. That'd be cool. I think Kessler Crane makes some maglock batteries that do something similar to that, but I think that they might be getting rid of those soon. My Aperture MC lights are not running long enough. Yeah, I mean, the Aperture MC lights, they're cool, but if you run them at full power, they kind of drain pretty quick. And Nicholas Hamilton, I own a 300D Mark II and a few cheap Dracast panels. Most of my work is talking head interviews, live streaming. I'm interested in the Nova. Where do you find yourself preferring the Nova over a 300 or a 120D? That's a good question. I see myself preferring the Nova, this guy right here, over the 120D and 300D. For one, if you need color. Color, most obviously, I mean, it's a super powerful full color light. Two, if you are constantly using gels on the 300Ds or 300D Mark II, I see people in the Facebook group constantly burning through their gels and melting them with that light because it's so powerful. If you keep doing that's costing you time and frustration and maintenance. You would probably want to pick up a Nova at that point. I see myself using the Nova when I want to have a soft light. When I want to have a soft light without having to deal with a big parabolic softbox. Also, the Nova will fill up a like a 6x6 frame for diffusion much closer than a 300D or 120D Mark II will with a reflector. So because it's got like 120 to 160 degree beam spread. I think maybe it's 120. Either way, it's got a huge beam angle, and so it'll fill up that diffusion much closer, so you don't have to have the light so far away. It's also got an incredible amount of output for a light like this. So those are a few scenarios where I would see myself definitely picking the Nova up over the 120D or 300. I think a better question would be, when would I want to use the 120D or 300D instead of a Nova? The only situations I can think of, really, if the budget is if it's not a matter of budget, is when you need to use a spotlight modifier, or you need the light to be very far away and still cast a lot of light forward, so you want to use a Fresnel. Those are probably some situations where I would see myself preferring one of their COB lights. Ninja, please, do you have any issues with light bounce off of a white ceiling during daylight filming? Yeah. So anything that's a solid white is going to give you problems when you're filming, and you want to control that bounce. I guess during daylight filming is, I'm gonna totally level with you guys. I usually film at night, right? So anything I tell you right now about light bouncing off of the ceiling during daylight is gonna be hearsay. So I can't give you any great advice on that. But what I can tell you is I put a Savage paper backdrop over my window in the rare events that I do have the time to film during the day, because daylight would always interfere with my lighting. And I always need my lighting to be controllable. I want it to be identical to the last time I turned everything off, because time is my most valuable asset. I don't have time to rearrange everything simply because the sun decided to be somewhere else. So that's why I always try and block out the windows in my studio. I need to be able to control everything. Let's see, we got Nils. With respect to money, just imagining the cost of VMAT batteries for the average streamer. Yeah, VMAT batteries can get pricey. The most affordable and smallest VMAT batteries I've seen are the Intelitech Pocket Vs. For $200, you can get a 98 watt hour, very small form factor battery. I much prefer the Bebob batteries because they're square and you can stack them up, and they have more features, and they're waterproof, drop proof, and well, rainproof anyways. So those, yeah, VMAT batteries is a whole nother topic. They get very expensive very quickly. Lover of Tech, sup man, thanks for showing up. Appreciate you. GDR that is going to kill the internal battery. Got another stream. Okay, I think got another stream. I don't know if that means you're leaving the stream or if you are sticking around but just saying that something else. I don't know. Nils, Qi charging, built-in tripod stand is possibly just a few years away. Very cool. Who streams 3+ hours? It's really hard to keep an audience engaged that long. That's for sure. Video games and board game streams are routinely run longer. You don't. Yeah, you know, that makes sense. Twitch streamers, they stream for like 8 hours straight. So there is that audience. I'm just going to try and skip through here. Do you stream with the Atem Mini? By the way, you using the Atem Mini to stream directly is straight impedant to an easy solution to your comment tracking issues. Okay, well, yeah. Oh well, we'll figure it out one day. OBS, others would help you with managing your. I never got the browser plugin, so no, I don't have the browser plugin for managing my comments yet. And blacked out 24/7. Yeah, seems pretty common. Constantly charging the XT3 battery will kill it. Interesting. Okay, yeah, I didn't consider that. Batteries are pretty cheap to replace though. I guess maybe I'll unplug it once in a while. I don't know. I'll figure that out. Whiskey camera. All right, next problem I have with live streaming. Guests, right? Guests can be fickle. I was going to have a guest on tonight, but I kind of did a really poor job of scheduling it properly. So he kind of, you know, he was tired, right? He didn't want to do it. So that's fine. I respect that. I understand. But, you know, now I'm doing it by myself. I was going to have my first guest on tonight and that didn't work out. So live streaming plans change, things come up, and you can't do a live stream at 10 p.m. if you don't have all the things that you need to do that live stream. Other problems I had live streaming, because live streaming is hard, is actually learning how to do it. The Atem Mini Pro, it's a very advanced piece of technology, right? The first couple streams I did, I was still learning how to use it, and you need to figure out how to monitor your audio properly. You need to make sure that everything looks right. You need to make sure it's going to the right stream. Last week I had a scheduled live stream, and then I hit start streaming, and then that went to a new stream, and the previous stream was still scheduled, and there was several people in the chat talking to each other amongst themselves, wondering why the live stream didn't start. YouTube lets you schedule multiple streams, and it's independent of the stream key. So that kind of threw me through a loop. I'm still learning how to stream. I'm not great at this, but I appreciate you guys hanging out and kind of learning with me. This is kind of a fun experience. Nils says, Toad's room's fully blacked out. We read that one. Aaron, well, thanks for showing up, man. The lighting is so dramatic tonight here. I hope you saw the whiskey cam tonight. It's on the Aperture MC, super dramatic. And this is nothing compared to a TriCaster. What is a TriCaster? Or is it noting compared to a TriCaster? I think that you meant to say nothing. I guess I don't really know. A TriCaster, is that someone trying to stream to 3 platforms, perhaps? I don't know. I guess as I learn how to stream on YouTube, people are going to tell me how I'm doing it wrong or how I can do it better, and that's fine. You don't want a TriCaster. You know, I'm going to trust Aaron because that is like the authority on internet stuff and internet security when it comes to streaming. I think Photo Joseph is probably the authority on streaming with the Blackmagic stuff. I don't know. Aaron, who do you think knows more, you or Photo Joseph, about the Blackmagic and live streaming? I'm not really sure. You guys are both super knowledgeable people. TriCaster is a pro broadcast system. Okay, well that answers my question. And better go with a quadcaster then. You know, I'm going to get a quintuplecaster. That's what I should do. So who's got some questions about lights? anybody, because that's what this stream is about now, because I kind of went through all my challenges with live streaming so far. Getting music into the stream, reading the comments, just trying to schedule a stream appropriately. It's hard. I'm learning, getting better at it. I think the most fun thing is these interesting angles in the lighting. Nobody else does this. Yeah, I guess that's it. Let's see, we got some comments here. One-upping. Here's a topic you can make a video about, or I will at some point. Oh, and Aaron says, don't make me play that game. Well, you know, I've watched, before I got the Atem Mini Pro, Aaron, I watched a lot of your videos. I watched a lot of Photo Joseph's videos, and then some of Curtis Judd's videos as well. You guys are all like super geniuses with this stuff. I mean, this is still the only experience I have live streaming is the few streams that I've done on my channel, and I think that you guys have been on most of them. So I think we're getting better. I think the quality is slightly improving. I used a lower quality microphone setup, but instead of using the noise assist in the more expensive Mix Pre 3 setup, I just used the Mix Pre 3 that I have plugged into my computer, but I put it into 24-bit mode, and it has the limiters on it instead of the noise assist, and I think that that's preventing the clipping. So every stream, I kind of learn a little bit more, I think. How's the sound, by the way? Does it sound better than last time? That'd be helpful to know. And this isn't even the MKH416. This is the Synco mic D2, I think. Mostly a 23,000 DRM key with 2K of hardware. Okay, so it's super expensive. Got it. Nils, which is using normal lights for videos and how frequency can mess with your video. Yeah. That is an interesting topic. And I've talked about frequency and flicker and the reason why expensive lights are expensive, because, you know, preventing flicker is a challenge for certain lights. But normal lights, I see a lot of people say, well, why would I spend $10,000 or, you know, that's kind of a big number. Why would I spend $1,000 on lighting when I could spend $60 on lighting? And it usually comes down to there's probably a flicker issue or the CRR TLCI is low. By the way, got a new tool. Let me show you guys. Okay. So anyone that watches my videos knows that I usually have been using the UPR Tech CV600, but finally we got the Sekonic C800 in here. So I'll be doing measurements with both meters to confirm accuracy from different brands of meters. The problem was some of my lights were measuring a little bit warmer than usual, and I wasn't sure if the meter was going bad or if the lights weren't reading appropriate color temperatures. And so I went and got the Sekonic C800. I did reach out to them to try and, you know, send me one so I could talk about it, do a video with them, but I still had to pay $1,000 for it. They gave me a discount, which was awesome. I appreciate them. But the Sekonic is pretty much the meter that everyone uses. So I'm going to be using this one and the UPR Tech CV600. The only thing that the UPR Tech does better than the Sekonic that I've seen so far is it also measures flicker, which is, you know, one of the topics in the comments here. Flicker is a really important issue. So there's also another person that was in the stream last time. They said they had a Phantom camera and they want to work together and create a video talking about flicker on expensive cinema lights. So I'll use the UPR Tech to measure the flicker, as well as his Phantom camera to measure the flicker and see how does that line up? How big of an issue is flicker? How much should you pay for a light if you're doing slow-mo, like with a Phantom camera? So anyways, we got the Sekonic in here finally, so we'll be doing some more interesting measurements on some of these lights pretty soon. How do I feel about hiding lights with compositing in post? Is that even possible in a stream? Well, you know what? That's probably going to be a better question for Mr. Aaron in the stream, to where you can do a stream key. I don't know if you could hide it in real time. I know, of course, you could do it like after the fact if you recorded the stream and uploaded. But I don't know how you would do it in real time, unless if you had like a perfectly lit little, you know, key, like green chroma key thing in there. I don't know. You know what? I have no freaking clue. That's a good question. I don't think it's worth it. I kind of like showing off all the lights. I think the lights are fun. I guess if lighting isn't your thing, then maybe get a little bit more in there. Then maybe you want to hide the lights, but you know, I don't know. See, because I had a hue light that would just wreak flicker havoc in my video. You know, I used to have those little LED strips on the back of one of my computers to try and add the RGB effect in my background, but they create so much flicker. I think they're at like, I don't know, they've got to be like 50 hertz or something, because no matter what the frame rate was, it would always cause flicker. Those little lights, I guess it's they probably use PWM for dimming, pulse width modulation. So when they're not at 100% power, they go off on, off on, off on to try and simulate dimming. And any light that has PWM dimming that doesn't have a high enough frequency will start causing flicker in your videos. And even if they have a high frequency, they can still cause flicker. So that's the difference between PWM dimming, low frequency, and like voltage dimming, which is like a consistent voltage that lowers the dimness of those lights. I don't know. I think it's interesting. Matthew, what do you have in mind? Not sure about compositing techniques, but I'm getting fairly good at leveraging OBS and filters. Just a question of how fast your PC is. That's probably true. Johnny D, sounds good. I have crappy headphones. Cool, man. Thanks for chiming in. Appreciate that. Appreciate you. Cheers. And Aaron back in the chat. Sounds great here, but I will admit I'm listening on my iPhone speaker right now. No problem. GD O'Reilly, sounds good on my headphones. Cool. Appreciate that. That makes setting up for these live streams so much easier than having to wheel the other setup over here. I guess if I had a ton of noise, it'd still be worth it. But right now, I've got the ACs turned off, so it's pretty quiet in here. There's always more to learn, Aaron says. One of the reasons I'm doing live streams every week is so that I keep having excuses to try new things and learn. That's a great reason to stream, you know. That's one of the reasons I'm streaming, is I wanted to continue my own education with the limited amount of time that I have available. And of course, I'm still doing all my own switching. Tell me, Aaron, do you do all the switching yourself? How many cameras do you use in your stream? How do you like them? Can't go to film conferences right now, which is the other way I did that. Solid point. Because of all of the things that are happening, we can't go to film conferences. Expos are closed. Yeah, that's the world is an interesting place. Anyways, this is my setup for today, and I think that I'm running a little bit short on time this evening. I'm going to cut it off in about 5 minutes. If you've got any questions, feel free to tag me really quickly. I did enable Super Chat last week, and you don't need to use that if you don't want to. That's just a thing that I did for no reason other than to have it available for anyone that really, really wanted me to see their comment. I do these streams for fun and for free. You don't need to pay me to ask a question. But if you tag me when you ask a question, it will be a lot easier for me to see that question. So I was thinking for the next stream to mix it up between, instead of going with the dramatic purple and teal lights over here. By the way, anyone that's just coming into the stream over here, have you seen this guy over here? This little light? That light is one that I'm not going to talk about yet because I can't. It's just there. Neil's not a very fast computer at all. So Matthew has a slow computer, everybody. He was just curious if masking a light out in live stream was possible if you had a clean plate prepared ahead of time. Yeah, no, I don't know. That seems really difficult. Coming from someone who's streamed maybe 3 times so far. Aaron usually uses 2 cameras, primarily talking head and a shot of his desk, but I'm super tempted to rig up a slider shot now though too. You know what? The slider shot is for sure the most underrated shot ever. A lot of people have these sliders. They spent money on these sliders and they just don't use them. And they're so cool, so dynamic, and with the right accessories, they're wireless. So, I mean, I could just take this slider and just roll it over there. It turned. Whoops. There we go. Oh man, turned too far. Either way, they're so easy to position and get set up. And just the way I have it rigged up anyways with all the accessories. Sliders are cool. They make B-roll easy. I like to do B-roll with sliders all the time. I have a manual slider, and the Rhino, while it has its problems, in fact, I'm probably going to make a video talking about all the problems of this Rhino slider soon. It's still significantly better than not having one, and it adds this level of depth to my live streams, which, again, not a lot of people overproduce their live streams, and that's kind of my goal for these things. Matthew, read that one. 2 cameras, yes. All right. Well, looks like we are approaching the end of our time here. If you are drinking with me, have a sip. If not, feel free to just participate and ask questions. And I've got about just a couple more minutes here. Nils says, on my streams, I usually have multiple overlays, transitions, picture-in-picture, and LUTs applied to live, but computer power is the limitation. That's really interesting. Again, that's one of the reasons I went with the Atem Mini Pro for this thing, because I wanted to have my computer not be at all part of the problem. We can do I can do picture-in-picture. See, I should probably configure that better. All right, how do I configure this picture-in-picture to be slightly better? What is it? Which setting in the Atem Mini Pro switcher software is it? Media player or palettes? Let's get this thing figured out. Border width? No, that's not it. I'm going to figure this thing out. You guys are going to hang out with me and we're going to do it. Pattern, DVE, Luma, Chroma. Oh, it's DVE. Here we go. Position, size. I think I found it, guys. Can I drag? How do I drag? Oops. Should I keep clicking? Oh, hey, we're getting big. Let's move that over there. And nope, way up, too far. Hey, look at that. All right. There we go. I figured it out, guys. I'm such a pro. So we got some more comments here. I'll probably try to do a basic version of this on Zoom just for fun, using their background function. Yeah, you know, if you key up your background to where you have like decent lighting back there, it'd probably be a little bit better. Just try and have like use a white wall or something. It'd probably be better than just if you don't do anything. Matthew, oof, that's why I'm not a gamer. Ha, yeah. All right, I think we are running low here. Thanks for watching, guys. All right, watch. I'm going to play myself out. Stay to the end, because I'm going to play myself out with music, just like I did last time, but this time is going to be better. If I can do it right. So if I start this song and put up some music. Here we go. And see you later, Nils. Thanks for showing up, guys. Appreciate you. And we are going to finish this up today. And with that, turn off the picture-in-picture. And I'm going to play myself out. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate you. See you in the next one. It'll be more exciting, I promise.